Hey, I'm going to show you some more of my finds. Mid-century angel. Some of them are hiding puppies, some a comic book, some other things. And I found this one at a thrift store. And she's hiding, or he's hiding, a slingshot. So this one's kind of rare. It's kind of hard to find the slingshot. I think this is on eBay. And if nobody buys it, it's all mine. And that's good. You got to have that attitude. This is just, I've looked and looked, and he's just a miscellaneous snowman, but he is too adorable. He's made out of paper mache. He's too cute. And I had to, he had a few different like scratches and things, so I painted him a little bit and touched him up. He's going to be on, I think he's on eBay. He's too cute. I mean, look at that face. And he didn't have a pom-pom, so I put a pom-pom on. He is too cute. And this is about how big he is. So, you know. And if anybody's interested in anything, you can private message me too, and we could come up with some kind of deal. But he is too cute. That's all I have to say. I like him. And then I have these on Etsy. And this is the crescent moon with the snowman. You can even private message me if you want. And then here is the winter moon with the snowman. It's on a sturdy wooden frame, and it's painted on wood. It's cute. I actually painted them this year. And then I have, these are called the girls, and she's called Groovy Girl. She's groovy. She's got the orange. This is an original, so you can always, I'm probably going to put this small original on Etsy. And she is a little bumblebee. And she's groovy. And then I have this, is an old vintage Fisher-Price toy. I'm trying to get away from the glare. So that's one of those pool toys from the 1940s, 50s, like Fisher-Price. I actually have this one. He's one of my favorites. Then I have Grandma's Pincushion. This is an original. And I'd even throw in the little frame. That's an old vintage frame. Kind of looks good with that. That's a very small little original painting. You can always private message me, or I'm putting that on Etsy. All the originals go on Etsy. So, and then here's another one of the girls. It's original painting, and she is a little bird. And she's so cute. But she's an original, just like Groovy Girl. They're just small little paintings I did. Sometimes I'll do little paintings before I do large paintings. Like, I am still working on the corset collection, and I'll do another video about that. And then for the holidays, I made tiny little prints, because you always want to give gifts to teachers, or just, you know, the local coffee shop or whoever. So I have about 50 postcards that I made that you can put in a frame, or you can just send the postcard. You can buy, you know, 5 at a time. You can just purchase one. And I am putting these on Etsy. And this is the Abominable Snowman. And he goes to the Waffle House. So that's the, and it has the spaceship, and I'm sure you're getting a glare. But I have ordered, there's like 50 of them. But it's a cute little print. You could buy a little white frame or a black frame and give it to a teacher as a gift, or, you know, somebody that loves Waffle House. You know, I've grown to love Waffle House. It is an experience, and can't knock it until you try it. And then I have about 25 or 30 of these winter moons. So once again, it could be a cute teacher's gift, you know, or just a postcard. There's room on the back to write. And then this is a painting I did this year. So it's the fox and the duck, and they have little winter hats on. So they're cute. I don't have a lot of them, but they're just like little prints. I thought they'd make great gifts, and I'm going to put them on Etsy. So I have those. Okay, and then I'll show you two more items. My little paper mache mouse head. And he's got a little thing to hang them on. Hang them on your wall. You know. They sell these at Watermelon Sugar, but I didn't see them this year. And then I thought, well, I can make one. And then I made, earlier this year, a pig head. And he's kind of heavy. He's made out of clay, but he has a holder. And I have both of them on Etsy. So, yeah, he's cute. I mean, anybody that loves pigs, this would be so cute. Hanging in a, if somebody had a business where they sell pulled pork, or if they just love pigs and you wanted to hang this in like a kitchen or a house or a kid's bedroom. Suppose their theme is like farms and stuff. Oh, by the way, and I don't have it because it's in my car and it needs to be cleaned, but Chuck and Daryl are so excited because, are you guys excited? You see, he just said he was excited. They're excited because I actually bought them a barn, the Fisher-Price barn. The one where you open the door and it makes the cow or the pig sound, and it's got the hay loft at the top, and they're very excited. So they have their own little barn, and so they'll tractor. Now I got to acquire the chickens and all the animals, so I'll be looking for them. In Laverne, Virginia is the antique factory, and it is just a treasure trove of Fisher-Price. I should probably not tell anybody, but I am going to go there and try to see if I can find, you know, them some animals and some, you know, maybe some cowboy ladies or anything. So, yeah, so I was really excited about that. It was a cool thing. Okay, got one more thing to show you. You've been so patient. Okay, years ago I had a series. I don't do the series anymore. I don't know, I had a cousin that said to me, "You're beating a dead horse," which kind of wasn't very nice. And then I had another cousin that said, and it wasn't you, Ann, "You're milking it for all it's worth, huh?" I was like, well, that was rude. Anyway, but I found these, and they're really cool, so I'm going to share them. First of all, Vodka Woman was a wealthy magazine heiress who traveled all over the world in search of adventures and would write articles. And she had an assistant named Wanda who was a slave to fashion and a victim to fashion. Sometimes it wasn't good. And then she had a boyfriend named Tequila Bob. And usually she would do island hopping with him and go to the tropics with him. And then she had Rum Randy, and that was more of her European guy. She would, you know, and he also was a photographer for her magazine. And he was bisexual. And so they'd go on all kinds of adventures. And it's just funny, but she had an aunt, and her aunt was named Gladys. And she was a really nice Jewish lady that lived in Timonium, Maryland. And she loved to go to the pepper mill. And I found this print. And it's Aunt Gladys Goes to the Pepper Mill. And if anybody, I'm sure every area has a restaurant where it's a lot of elderly people. But if you go to the pepper mill, they call it Heaven's Waiting Room. And it, you know, there's a lot of oxygen tanks, wheelchairs, and there she is, Gladys, with her old fashioned and her tissue tucked in her watch and her big black handbag and those shoes. She is everybody's grandma. And then if you lived in Timonium, Maryland, but I have to tell you, it doesn't matter where you live, everybody has an Aunt Gladys. But Aunt Gladys would try to go out and meet men. So she would go to the bamboo house. Now this is dating myself because Bamboo House has been gone for a while, but I remember after my dad passed, torturing my mother and dragging her to the Bamboo House. Like, you're gonna meet your next man. And no, not there. But yeah, I'm seriously, there were old ladies dressed like this. It was so funny. And there was powder all over the floor. And I couldn't figure, was the powder there because they liked dancing and it made the floor slippery, or did powder like come from somewhere? I don't know where the powder came from. It's all over the dance floor. Talcum powder. But anyway, after finding them, I also found these. So I'll start with this one. This was in Paris, and there's Tomato. She had a cat named Tomato. This is Vodka Woman, goes to Paris. I look like an idiot. And there's the Eiffel Tower. And if I'm correct, yep, she's on top of the Eiffel Tower too. Sometimes I place her in all different places. She's also up there. Sometimes in my art, you can find little hidden things. And then it's cute because there's little mice. And they've got cheese and olives. And she is just enjoying herself in Paris. And she always gets into some trouble. And then here she is in the Riviera. And if you're if you know what the pink nude is, Henri Matisse, it's kind of a take on that. So there she is on that blue and white pattern, and she's naked on a beach in the Riviera. And she uses the Zola corn spray or whatever to tan herself. She's politically incorrect, so whatever would be wrong, she does. And this one was really cool. This was her at the Rockefeller Center presents the Nutcracker on the ice, and it says, stay off the ice at 8 o'clock. So, of course, Vodka Woman, she didn't read it, and she didn't pay attention, and she had been shopping, and she had been drinking. So she decides she's going to go ice skating, and she goes out onto the ice and causes total calamity. Just everywhere. I used to have bags, coffee mugs, the whole schmeal. And I like the fat little, the mice. Or the rats. And the poor little skater, she fell because she tripped her. There's so many little things you can see. There's the ashtray, because yes, smoking is shunned upon, but Vodka Woman doesn't care about that. She does whatever she wants. I used to have a grandmom that smoked a lot, and she lived to be pretty old. She smoked and drank lots of wine. So sometimes I feel like it preserves some people. And then this is cute because this is the original Vodka Woman. So I can kind of tell by looking at it, it's a little more primitive. But it's really cute. She's wearing Pappagallo shoes. If anybody's familiar with Pappagallos. And then here she is. She's just going down to sit on the beach. But if you really look at it, she's just like really heading down into the ocean. And in my cartoon, she found Tomato in Aruba at a golf course and took him home. The cool thing about Vodka Woman, I started Vodka Woman when I was 28 years old in Aruba on a trip, and every time the blender would start at 12 o'clock noon, one of my ex-husband's friends would go, uh-oh, here comes Vodka Woman, and boy, was I a piece of work on that vacation. And for some reason, it stuck with me, and I kept thinking, Vodka Woman, that's a character. That could be a character. That could be a character. And really, Vodka Woman made me love cartoons. Because before that, I was like, really wanted to do realistic stuff. And after that, I was like, I love having stories and humor. I want you to look at my art and find little things and laugh at it. Like, life's too short. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed my story time and my sharing, and I'll share some more stuff next week. And I hope everybody is getting ready. I'm getting ready to go to Baltimore to see my family for Thanksgiving, and then we have a big wedding, very big wedding, and we are so excited. And they've been dating since pretty much they were in utero. And I'm joking, but they've been dating forever, and it's about time. It's such a good celebration, and it's always good to celebrate in a family. And unfortunately, a lot of times in families, people get together for the other stuff, but this is a good thing. And so we're really excited. Anyway, really nice getting to share, and I'll share some more. See ya.